Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. As most of you guys know, I have recently moved out of state into a smaller space, and after building my awesome crafting space, now I am forced to build me a different space because unfortunately it's a lot smaller. So I went to IKEA again, of course, and I saw a display that they had, and this one sheet has everything that I needed. So I decided this is what I want. It fits perfectly. So you see me picking out all of the items that I am going to need to build this new desk. I wanted to build an L-shaped desk because that's all I can fit right now. So I'm going to take you into this journey as I pick all my items. Another thing, IKEA is not too close to me anymore. So if I am going to make the trip to IKEA, I am picking out everything at the same time so that I get to work real quickly. So I am going to show you how I build the drawers as fast as I can. So the first thing that I do, I lay down every piece on the floor on top of a surface. I'm using a towel because I don't want to scratch my furniture. Then I have a few items. I have a screwdriver. This is all I use. That, and I also have a drill that I bought at IKEA. And that's all I do. I do try to follow the instructions step by step because if not, I get lost. But because there's so many drawers, I lay them all down. I have all of my items, including all these little screws, very close to me, and I go to work. I feel that it's fastest this way so that you're building all the drawers because you're doing the same thing over and over and over again. So I figured, why not do them all at the same time? And every time I do this, I have done the same thing. So just make sure that you line everything down, then you screw everything at the same time, and it works pretty nicely. Just make sure that you don't put a lot of force at first, because if not, your screw will come out. So just do it slowly, and then once you get the grip, just tighten it up. And you will do this with every single drawer. Since you're doing the same thing over and over again, you go ahead and you do it all at the same time. Now you would see me make mistakes, and I think I'm going to leave the mistakes and I'm not going to edit them out because I want to show you so that I make the mistakes and you don't have to make them. Now, another thing that you need to know about these IKEA drawers is that they have two sets of holes, like a bigger size and the smaller. And then on the other side, you see that it's smaller, and it's almost like a puzzle. You have to make sure that you line up your side wood, well, it's not wood, but you know what I mean, with your screws, because it would only fit like like it would only fit only one side. I'm sorry, I can't even talk today. But anyways, so line them up. You will see that it only fits on the, if I grab the wrong end, it won't fit. So just make sure that you line them up. And again, you will do this with all of the pieces that you get, and you do this at the same time. So you're working only once, doing the same thing over and over again. Now see that it has like these little ridges. So you want to make sure that you match them up. It's almost like a puzzle. And I think that's why I like putting these things together, because it's like a puzzle to me. So again, like the ones that have the bigger hole go on the big screws. And if it doesn't fit, that means it goes on the other side. It's pretty easy, in my opinion. Have I made mistakes? Oh, yes, I have. But I've learned. And this is why this works better for me. So I think that I show you how I just lined them up. Again, a lot of people get frustrated putting these things together. But if you think of a puzzle, you will get it. It's like it matches only one way. So these little tiny drawers have only one screw. So you know that you have to match the one hole that it has with the one screw that you get, because you're going to tighten this up later on. And these little ridges in there, they only fit in one space, like right here. You see, you line this up with that line and that hole with that screw, because it has to go inside so that you would tighten it up later, and you will see that it just falls in very nicely. There you go, you see? And then you have that screw that shows in there. and you do the same with the ones. The bigger ones have two, the little ones only have one. So you just make sure that you line them up and they fall in with almost. See how that works? You see, it doesn't match because it has to match. So you have to turn this around. You see, this little space, it's specially cut that way because it fits only one way. So you see how it doesn't fit here? That means it goes on the other side, and you line up the cuts together and look, it just falls very nicely. See? Just a matter of being patient, okay? But again, line up all of your pieces at the same time so that you know how they're falling and what goes where. All right, so since I've already done that, you see me here lining up all of my pieces, because after this I am going to screw all of my the other circular screws, I call them. And once I have them all lined up, you see, the bigger ones have two, the little ones have one, and this is what they look like once you put them all together. You see, oh, it's like an army. I love this look. So now what we are going to do, we're going to take, you see this little space right here? Your screws are on there. So you're going to take this circular screw, I call them, and they also just fall in, they only fit the right way, and that's it. Like, you don't try to force them in because it's not going to work. So if they don't go in nice and smoothly, do not force them in because you would not see, they just falling into place, because you have to put it has like a circular space. That's where your screw goes, and that's how you place them in. Once you place them in the right way, they go in very nice and smooth. And again, you're going to do the same thing over and over again. If they're not going in, do not force them. Just try to turn them to the side and they will fall in very nicely and tighten up. Just like here. See? You see, this is what I mean. This little C shape falls right on your screw and you push it in. Very nice and easy. This is what I mean. See? It only fits. It's like, you see, I'm going to do it slowly. It doesn't fit that way. You have to fit the cut on your screw. So you go in and you push it slowly and voila, it fits. All right. So now that they're all in, we are going to tighten them up. And all you need is a screwdriver. Yeah, I could do it with my drill, but if you don't have a drill, you could just use a screwdriver and it works just as good. All right, just make sure that they're tightened up. You do the same thing on the other side. And voila. Now this here, I forgot that they had to go in. Again, here I am making the mistakes so that you don't have to. This is how easy it is to take them apart. So here you are, you put this in. It's the same shape, so it doesn't matter how you put them together. Now here we are, we're doing it all over again. Oopsie. I make the mistakes so that you don't have to. All right, this was pretty easy to take off, so it wasn't a big deal. We put the wood in and you screw them back on. All right, so I did the same thing to all the drawers. Those little wood things are just to help them. Now I'm showing you how I use my screwdriver. Now you see how they have a little cut. That little cut has to fit in the little corners precisely. So be very careful, because if you're not doing it the right way, it's not going to go all the way. You want these to go all the way, because if not, your drawers are going to be pretty. Now see, I'm showing you how that just clicks nicely, and you're doing the same thing over and over again. If they don't fit, just line them up nicely and they will fit. All right, don't force them in. If you're forcing them too hard, it's not the piece, or you're doing probably something wrong. Okay, so notice how I just have a little hard time here. I just reposition them, line them up, and push them in. Ta-da! Here they are. Again, I work with them at the same time, so because I'm doing the same thing over and over again. I am showing you how this one piece is the back piece of your drawers. They only fit one way. Again, think of a puzzle. If it fits, it's the piece for you. So they fit in like this. Just line them up. Make sure that there are no spaces anywhere, because if there is space, then you have to fix them up or your drawers will be pretty loose. I do the same thing over and over again. And then you have to tighten them up with some plastic screws I'm going to show you. Now you see how some of these don't fit. Well, not that they don't fit. I didn't do it properly, so I have to fix them before I put the screws in, because if not, they're not going to screw in. So these are the screws I'm telling you about. These are plastics, and they just help to make your drawers very sturdy. So you just put them in, and with a hammer, you're going to push them in, because it's hard to just push them in with your fingers. Can you do it? Would your hands be hurting after? Yes, they will. So just hammer them in, line them up, and just like that, they're all done. I will show you pictures in my Instagram account. Make sure that you follow me, because I do update you guys in my stories and in my Instagram account. I will see you guys in my next video. Ta-ta!